So I'm sorry I'm talking about this base plate again, but I think it's important to mention something. Not the plate itself, but kind of also, depending how you look at it. But my base plate for my C70, this is about, I would say this is about 4 years old now. And this base plate is from Small Rig, and it was designed for the FS7. And I bought it because I want a long plate, so when I put my camera down on a surface, it doesn't tilt forward. Just kind of like helps support it, right? And also I can adjust the distance on the tripod. So, but because this is kind of old now, I guess, it's wearing out a little bit, it seems like to me. So today we just filmed the DD Theos review, and my buddy was like, dude, it's sliding all over the place, because like he puts it on, right? It sounds good, but you can still slide the camera forward and back. And I'm not pushing it that hard, and that kind of sucks. So I think this one also might be a little bit, worn out. But if I grab another plate, right? Here's the actual Falcon plate that comes with the F50s. Like, it doesn't go anywhere, right? So I think the plate on my C70 is kind of wearing out, and that kind of sucks because I can't buy that again. They don't sell anymore. I've been looking for alternatives, but they're kind of pricey, right? So here's the mini version of the F50 base plate, not base plate, but tripod plate. And if I had this on, and if it does slide around, it's okay, because like we have these pins here that kind of stops us, which it does stop the camera anyways, but we want to be protective as much as we can. So the C70 is kind of a bad deal, so that's unfortunate. Looks like I have to buy a new plate, but oh well. So I have a gig coming up, and they kind of like us to use the gimbal most of the time. It's kind of real estate type stuff, but I think because they come from a background of real estate videography, that the gimbal is just kind of like the way, to use it. But whatever. So I haven't done a house video for this company yet, and I'm about to do one. It's not quite a listing, I think. It's more a showcase. I don't know. But if you do real estate, you know that wide angle lenses is a must, and full frame is even better. So I'm an R5C here, and I'm on my gimbal here, like this giant setup, right? Very unnecessary. But right now I have my 24-70. It balances fine. I can zoom in and out, and the motors on the gimbal, are strong enough to keep it well. I used to balance it at 50 or close to 50, and it was such a hard time balancing it. I don't know why. So I just started balancing at 24 again, and I'm not on 24 most of the time anyways. But hopefully on this gig I don't need to switch lenses, but I've been doing some tests if I can switch lenses. Here's my 15-35 2.8, and they are roughly the same weight. They're like 0.02 pounds off, and the length is essentially the same also. But I think like the amount of glass in it is a little bit different, and there's a little bit of more weight on a 24-70, I think. I think because there's more reach, right? 24-70, there's more numbers in there compared to 15-35. So I think it's just heavier in general. But right now, so earlier I did a test, and it doesn't balance perfectly if you just like swap it. But if you so like right now it's balanced. It's balanced nicely, essentially balanced. I have an uneven ground, so it's kind of difficult to balance too. But if I want to switch lenses, so let's go ahead and just swap lenses. So it's off balance a little. So right now it's back heavy, right? So, but then all I need to do is kind of push this forward a little bit. Then it's pretty good. It's balanced. But knowing if you've done real estate as well, you have to do outside stuff. So we need ND filters, right? And the ND filters is always an issue because it adds weight to it and length to the gimbal. So if I add my Tiffin ND filter here, variable ND, it just adds so much weight, and it kind of sucks. I kind of hate that. So, and it's not a simple like readjust, right? If I push this back more, it's not that simple. Sometimes it is. I think I'm a 24-70. It kind of is, but sometimes it's not too. See, I got lucky there, right? But like I said, my ground isn't level, so maybe that could be an issue in the field as well. So hopefully I can put a filter on. But screw on filter, you know, and it kind of sucks. But I think we have some time that I can tell him, like, I would like to, you know, make this as great as possible. So I'm gonna like use the tools I have. I'm mentioning this because I've never really done a lens swap on a gimbal, and like heavily in that sense. Like on films, you know, you're given time to do that, but then on gigs, there's not really much time, especially weddings. Weddings, my 24-70 just lives on my R5C because I don't have time to switch to 50 and 35. But I might now, knowing that it's just kind of a shift change forward or back. Just because I like to get the wide shots. I'm a wide type person, personally, and on my visuals. So I like to do that. But yeah, hopefully I get lucky on that. And so yeah, I was mentioning this because I would prefer to use my C70 for this gig. We're not shooting log or 4K either, so it doesn't matter what camera I use. But the thing is, I want full frame because, you know, it kind of deals with real estate, and full frame allows me to get wider shots. So all the gigs I do is just my R5C. So yeah, C70 would be great, although it is huge on the gimbal. Even though like that's the camera that the RS3 Pro advertises with, it's still huge, and it's just not great. So like, even if I had a C80, it would be giant, right? Because this rig is already pretty heavy. For me, I think I'm a little stronger than a lot of other people. And when they carry my rig, they're like, this is super heavy. And me, like, it's not that heavy, but like, of course, you use it all day, you know, that weight does add up. So there's that factor to understand as well. But I would really like it. So like right now, the camera wars, if ever was one, if you watch my Shattered Dream little skit, you kind of know that I made fun of it a little bit through that. But if there was any camera wars or anything like that, I think the next step to kind of impress us is to create a mirrorless camera that has internal NDs. And then I think the other companies will start to try to do the same thing. And by God, I wish I had internal NDs for like everything. If my R5C had it, it would be my main camera really. Like my C70, I might just get rid of it. Because it's big already, you know, it requires battery, certain type of batteries that are big, and this requires V-mount battery essentially, you know, also batteries external. So yeah, I wish and I hope that manufacturers, you know, whatever it is, whoever it is, I don't care what brand, if it's one brand I use, that's great, but you know, whatever. They can create internal NDs within mirrorless cameras. And if it has to be like, because it's R5C, if you know anything about it, it's a little thicker than, this is the cage that extends here, but it kind of ends around right here. It's a little bigger than a regular mirrorless camera. So it's already kind of big, but it's not like in your way big. And I think internal NDs, even if it's just like, I don't know, like a few stops of ND. If it's just one type of ND, if it's not like a bunch of different stops of NDs, I think we would like it more, although that's kind of useless, right? But yeah, that's just kind of what I want to talk about with this. This is my, also, I think I mentioned this a few videos ago, but if you see here, that's a spring clamp, and my V-mount plate here, pass-through plate from Tilta, this doesn't tighten it all the way anymore. Or like, it tightens it, but the this portion here of the gimbal, I think the metal started shrinking in, right? So there's some parts that are tighter, some parts that are looser. I started noticing that, but I didn't realize what was actually happening until this started falling. This just started falling off. And I was like, ugh. You know, equipment that's expensive wears out on you too quick, right? But that's all I want to talk about. Yeah, it's lenses, it's gimbals, it's issues. We all deal with it.